What's up guys, Zabza here bringing you a Black-White 2 battle. That's right, Black-White 2. My opponent is Arcena, who's testing out his new Little Cup team. He's got a Chinchou, Mischievous, Lilip, I think its name is Volibee, I always get it confused with something else, a Larvesta, and a Squirtle. So, potential threats. Lilip is a known stall machine, as well as Volibee actually. Larvestas and Chinchous are notorious for using Volt Switch and U-Turn, making an effective Volt-Turn combo. And I'm thinking that Squirtle is there for rapid spinning, so I'm not that worried about it. However, it could be running priority or physically defensive. I just gotta scout it out and see which it is. And finally, you've got Mischievous, which there's no telling what it is until you actually see it do a move, besides Shadow Ball. So without further ado, let's get to it. Like I said before, my opponent is my good friend Arcena. He's going to start out with his sparkiest Chinchou, as I'm going to send out my Hero Ryla, my Onyx. Now right after that, I'm going to try and take this thing out with an Earthquake. However, he predicts this and goes into his Miss Mage, which means Earthquake ain't going to do jack. So I'm going to have to switch out and go into Stony here, my Stoner, or Drowsy, as he goes for a Hidden Power, and it seems like it's not very effective, so I'm going to guess that's Hidden Power fighting. So I know he's going to switch out, because I'm pretty sure he's choice locked in some way. I don't really know. I mean, back when I was helping him make the team, I remember that a couple of his Pokemon were choice, and I know that that would be a good choice. So it looks like I might have been right, so I go for the Wish Pass into Hero Ryla. However, he predicts that and goes for Toxic into the incoming Pokemon, which is fantastic. As I go ahead and set up Stealth Rocks, as he goes for a U-turn, and goes into his Turbolic. And this thing kind of scares me. I don't want to take a Water-type move with Onix, so I'm going to switch out to my True Jelly. As he goes for Fake Out, gets a crit, didn't really matter, as I go for Knockoff, and Knockoff its EVO Light, telling me that it's probably a mix of maybe Priority and a Rapid Spinner defensive set. Anyway, I go for Giga Drain with my True Jelly, and I managed to take out this Chinchou with a critical. However, I don't think it mattered too much unless he was going to Volt Switch, because I know I can take one since I'm specially defensive, and that Giga Drain just proved that it would be a 2-hit KO. Anyway, he goes into his Miss Mage as we exchange attacks. I see that the Hydro Pump isn't doing too much. It's going to be a 3-hit KO, and he's definitely going to knock me out first. So I'm going to pull back, go into my Hero Ryla, as he goes into his Lily, as I go for the Rock Blast, which doesn't do that much. I mean, sure, I get 4 hits on it, but it can just recover off the damage. So I'm going to go for the Taunt, predicting the Stealth Rocks. I predict correctly, and it could have ended very badly because he could have just as easily gone for the Giga Drain. Now he's going to predict my switch and go for the Ancient Power, trying to hit what's coming in. However, I'm pretty sure that Survivor could have taken either Giga Drain or a Hidden Power, so I go into it. Now, knowing that U-Turn is going to be most super effective, and that he's probably going to switch out, I'm going to go for that U-Turn. It's going to hit his Miss Mage, which means I get a safe switch into Houdini, and I can knock this thing out. So Houdini goes for Shadow Ball, and just based off the fact that I either Speed Tide or whatever, I'm going to have to say that thing is Specs. So I go for the Protect just to protect against the Fake Out, and I'm going to go for the Psychic. However, he has the Aqua Jet like I thought, but I'm pretty sure this is going to knock it out, and it doesn't. It survived with just a little bit of HP. I'm guessing maybe he was specially defensive. He gets a crit on the second Aqua Jet, but I don't think it really mattered that much in the long run. So I'm going to go in my True Jelly, go for the Giga Drain. He's going to predict this, switch into his Lily, and, well, it's not going to appreciate that too much. So I'm going to go for the Knockoff, which is going to get rid of its EVO Light, which is going to make it a lot more manageable, as he goes for the Stealth Rocks, and I'm going to go for the Giga Drain next turn. Now here he said he pretty much knew that he couldn't win, and he said he knew I had Liquid Ooze, but he just wanted to end the battle. He just didn't want to drag on the battle any longer than it had to be. So he goes for a Giga Drain, hurts himself, I go for a Giga Drain and finish him off, and he goes into his Turbolic. So his Turbolic uses Fake Out, and then I'm going to go for a Giga Drain just to knock it out. I'm guessing he just wanted that little bit of extra damage, although I'm not sure why he didn't just go into this earlier, his Bugsy, Larvesta. And he goes for Wild Charge, which is... I don't like Larvestas. I mean, they're very hard to kill. So I go into my Hero Ryla, and I'm pretty sure I outspeed, and I go for the Rock Blast. So he's down to his last Pokemon, his Voltura Jr., I'm going to go for the Rock Blast, which is actually going to not knock it out this turn, because I only get 3 hits, and that thing is a complete beast. He goes for the Brave Bird, not sure why, guessing, once again, not to prolong the battle. as I just go for Rock Blast and knock him out. And that is going to be the end of the game. So good game, Arcena. I hope you guys all enjoyed that battle, and let's get to the talk of the day. Today's talk of the day, I'm going to tell you about some changes that's going to be going on. Well, that's really just it. I don't want to be specific because I want some of them to be surprised. Maybe you've already noticed them by now. Actually, you probably have already noticed them by now. But there are going to be a lot of changes coming to my channel and basically what I'm offering overall. So in case you haven't noticed it yet, I now have a Facebook and a Twitter, which you guys are free to follow or friend. And I've also got a Twitch account, which means, yes, I will be streaming. I don't know when. I don't know why, really myself. Sometimes I'll just be random. Maybe sometimes I'll actually plan a couple days ahead. If I do ever decide to stream, which I will, there's definitely going to be a message about it on Twitter. But sometimes I may not put it up on the channel. So really, the Twitter or just going over and following the Twitch TV channel itself is probably the best option for you guys. So that's it from me. I actually have a lot more I want to tell you guys, but let's leave it at that for today. I hope you guys all enjoyed that video. Comment, rate, subscribe, and challenge.